right, people, how we doing today? How's everybody doing out there? It is Wednesday, Bruvs Unite. Here we go. We got James right here. We got James all the way from across the pond, the number one bruv. James, how you doing, bro? What's going on?
I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic, but I can't stream without an alcoholic beverage. So make of that what you will.
Yeah, we got James all up in the business with you. Get a little Stella action. We got we're gonna have the other guys here on in a minute. I see we got John in the chat. What's up, John? Carrie, what's going on, Carrie? Pat, as always, how you doing? Good to see you. We got Professor Grass out there. What is going on? We got CK. I think I saw him out there. Shout out to CK. We got Rocofort Macabre. What's going on? Mr. Cheeky, good to see you. Good afternoon to you, sir. Always great to see you. Fantastic. Now, James, how's your week been going? You've had a crazy week. I saw you over there with Courtney blowing up her chat, getting all up in the mix. What's going on with that, bro? Are you setting your sights on a green card, or what the hell are we doing?
That's the rumor, man. It's like a palate cleanser. I got involved in shit that I shouldn't be getting myself involved in. It's like I'm like this serial flirt, and it kind of got a bit dicey. You know, people's emotions took over. So I was like, I'm going to park that to one side, and I'm going to do what I usually do, go after the blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go into Courtney's chat like I usually do. Forest Mummy was in there, and she was cracking a few jokes. And it's just a lively one over there. You know what I mean? It's just a blonde girl who's a bit of a laugh, making jokes, and then I flirt with her constantly because I like to see my little chats come up on screen. I like looking back at some of my one-liners. It's like, and then I'll buzz it to you. I go, oh, look at this one. Oh, look at this one. This is hilarious.
Yeah, every time.
She's like, she thinks I'm trying a green card, though. You know what I mean? She's like, he's definitely after a green card. He wants to come to America because everyone knows how shit England is. You know, he's after me for my residency and my money, not my body. And I was like, no, I just want your body, darling.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means? That means she might kind of like you a little bit. If what is her stream? Courtney who? I don't know who that is.
What is it like? Is it what is Courtney or who is Courtney? Courtney Brooke. Just look up Courtney Brooke on YouTube.
All right.
You should all go and follow her, right? She's this blonde-haired girl. She's extremely funny. She's good with the band. She's good with the jokes. She, she's got a good rapport with her chat. You know, where it's light-hearted and good bands. There is nothing heavy over there. It never gets heavy. She's always messing around with her 3 dogs. She's good at cooking. You know, she looks the part. Why wouldn't you want to be over there? It's like, if you're a bloke, I don't know why you wouldn't want to be over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go over there and have a crack and have a laugh. I just want to get her on stream. I think she'd be really good on stream with us. I want to get her over here. You know what I mean? She's like, she keeps turning down my advances. That's fine. But come on the stream, have a laugh. I think Forest Mummy's got the hook up with her. So if you get Forest Mummy on, I think you can get Courtney Brooke, no problem.
Yeah, we'll get Forest. I already reached out to Forest Mommy, and she said she'd come on. She talked politics, so maybe we'll have a good time with that.
I want to be on that stream. You know why, right? I want it to be really heavy, right? With John Teeter. John Teeter's doing this really heavy stuff, and then Forest Mummy's doing that really heavy stuff, and then I just want to say something stupid and random like boobs or something. Just go, yeah, politics and boobs, or something. Just something stupid and silly, just to break up the because I like being on stream with really smart people. I enjoy it. I like, John's smarter than me, and I find enjoyment of it because it's like if I was talking politics, and I talk politics a lot, but I talk about it like Joe Everyman, if you know what I mean. Remember they did that Family Guy episode where Carter Pewterschmidt was trying to break the unions, wasn't he? So he dressed up as Joe Everyman so he could be meat and potatoes and go down the pub. And I'm like that. I'm like, yeah, what about that politics? It's shit, innit? You know what I mean? It's like, and then John will be in the chat, right? And he'll do this feces and feces. I said feces there. He'll do this feces, and he'll make me. Yeah, it's not shit. I promise, it's not shit, John. It's good. But he does his feces, and I'm like, God, John's making me look like a right berg. Thank fuck he's not doing this on stream.
Yeah, that's true, John. I'm trying to set one up with Forest Mommy and John right now, and we'll get you in on that too. But yeah, John, he is a deep thinker, bro, and he does some monster texts. They're about as long as a book, and I'm sitting there looking at the chat like, damn, I don't know if I can handle that, bro. I gotta get into it.
He must be the smartest DJ ever, right? If I was a DJ, right, I'd just be doing pills and banging birds. But no, John's writing essays out here, man. He's writing fucking essays, right? He's got his whole political political pamphlet of how he's going to like reshape America, or he's going to reshape Europe, or reshape the world in his image. And I just love it, man. There's nothing that makes me laugh. Not laugh like taking the piss, but laugh when I see like I'm just putting. Yeah, did you see that? I was chatting up Courtney Brooke, and then John will be like, here we go. This is my view on politics, and it's like a fucking essay. I'm like, shit. Where am I going wrong in my life? I'm just talking about blondes and boobs.
Yeah. No, that's facts, and that's so funny. It's so true. He'll be in there reading Iliad by Homer or something like that while he's trying to put together his DJ set, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? We got that going on.
I'm glad, man. I would have never ever like come across John if it wasn't for you, and I'm. Really
I know
glad.
It's crazy, huh?
Because he is a really solid bloke, man. He is proper solid. Me and him always having a laugh, and me and you on Instagram. I'm going, hey, look at this midget that just knocked someone out. Hey, did you see that Danny Boy 83 video where he just chatted up a lady boy? And it was like, I'm sending all these videos, right? And John's just cracking me up. He sends me the Rampage Jackson ones.
And
that's been the greatest thing. I can't say it. I don't think I could say it on YouTube. But the shit they do to Rampage Jackson, they terrorised him, man.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that Mersh Super Tips thing, hasn't he?
Yeah.
They do the voices and they're like, Rampage Jackson, you got me into men. And it's it's a lot more extreme than that, but I don't dare say it, you know what I mean?
Well, they have to rebuild Rampage's image after his son almost killed that guy, bro. So everybody's like pissed off at Rampage for being a horrible father, and now he's out there. I saw he was dressing in. You sent me that video of him dressed in like that German lederhosen and all that, and he's like, what the hell's going on with that? He's trying to rebuild his image or something. He's trying to be a streamer.
It's very much, isn't it? I think it's like if you've got a hard man for a father, right? Whether it be just a straight up hard man, or you've got a gangster, or you've got a fighter, MMA or boxer, they always try to live up to their father, don't they?
Yeah.
You take like Chris Eubank Sr., amazing boxer. Chris Eubank Jr., not so much.
Yeah.
You've got Nigel Benn, Conor Benn, not so much. You've got like who else? I can't. Who else I'm thinking of? But you've got that. They want to be like John Gotti, and then John Gotti Jr. Nothing like his father. John Gotti Jr. was a rat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was, his father was.
That's kind of the way. That's kind of the way because the sons, they have it easier because of their father's success. So they're never going to be as hard as the father. Darren in the chat, shout out to Darren. We got to get Darren on the stream. Said he made a dumb joke once and John hit him with a super deep response. And it took him a little bit off guard. Like he was like, "Bro, I gotta get the cliff notes for that one." But
I think just to quickly go on to that, I think if Darren comes on stream, Darren Wagner, mate, he's just gonna take over. You know what I mean? This guy, right? He's got an amazing personality. This guy could have single-handedly saved Comicsgate. You know what I mean? He's into that comic book. He's into that over there. He would have like literally livened up any one of those boring streams over there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad he didn't go over there. I'm glad he's with us and not with them. But I'm saying he's a lively guy.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to get D-Wag on more often. He's been just getting some of his technical things set up and everything like that. But he's one of those kind of guys that, he captures lightning in a jar. He's just very creative, and I don't mean to glaze his ass too much because, he's got that brown beanie thing going on. I think he got a couple new beanies or whatever, but we're going to get him on. We're going to make that happen, and we're going to have fun with it. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I got a couple more people in the pipeline. We had that really good interview yesterday with Matthias Adelson, and he's just an incredible illustrator. And he illustrates...
If you're an American, that right there is that Scandinavian charisma, right?
Right,
it's totally different. This is why, right, when I try to explain to you about why the United Kingdom shouldn't really be a part of Europe, because if you look at someone like me, I have really no European continental like vibe about me. But if you go to Scandinavia, these people are not tryhards.
No,
they are straight down the middle. They have this like fierce look about them, right? And they are serious people.
They are serious.
They have dry sense of humour, and they have wit.
Yeah.
It's totally different to the English sense of humour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll make a witty quip, and he won't smile. He won't break kayfabe, but it isn't breaking kayfabe. That's just him.
That's who he is.
He won't break it.
Yeah.
That's
who he is.
The funniest joke in the world, and it'd be like this.
Yeah, well, I almost started laughing when he said that he really loves comedy and he's into comedy, and I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the kind of guy. He's like a sniper with his sense of humor, bro. He'll just like hit you with like a fucking banger of a joke, and like you said, not even break a smile, and you'll have to think about it for like a week, and like, did he mean that? And you'll be like, "What the hell was that?"
He's on a totally different level upstairs to me. I'm
Yeah.
like that cheeky chappy, in your face, over the top, some type Marmite where you either like it or you don't like it. But he's like your definite silent assassin. He will just like skewer you and twist the knife, and he'll be like, "Yes, that is natural. That is the way we do it."
Yeah.
It's like, he won't even fucking try, man.
No, facts.
And it's scary that they live in the most horrible climate, man. Cold, freezing
yeah.
cold, man. Bollock, right?
Have
You're
you
outside, like having those fucking cold, like fucking.
Have you ever been to any of those countries over there, like the Scandinavia?
Nah, it's just not for me. It doesn't appeal. It's like, you know, like where it's like one of them. What is it? Is it Iceland or Finland, where it's like dark for 6 months of the year?
I think it's
terrorite.
I think it's
Is
Finland.
Iceland.
Iceland. I don't know.
Finland, Iceland.
No.
John will know. John will know.
Yeah,
It's
John.
either like it's like Finland or Iceland. It's like 6 months of the year. It's pitch fucking black. It's like that would just depress the life out of me, man. These are hard people.
Yeah,
They're some of the hardest people on planet Earth, and they are fucking. And it's nice. I was saying to you, right? It's like this is such a departure. Like, not glazing anyone, but just my personal opinion. It's such a departure for what they're doing. Say, if it was Comic Skate or Ripper, you're plucking different people and giving people opportunities to see different artists, and that's what I like. It's like, you know, it's a breath of fresh air. You know, no one in Comic Skate or Ripperverse would even attempt to have someone like Matthias Adelson or the English guy you got on. What was it, Neil
Whitehead?
Neil something.
Neil Whitehead.
Neil Whitehead, yeah. They wouldn't know about these people. You're bringing new people to the game, and it's like, that's what people want to see. They want a bit of fresh air. I think that's what they like about me. I'm like, I just fucking say shit, and I just come on stream and I say shit, and I'm in your face. I don't care. I'd have a go at anyone. I'd have go at fucking John Malin. I'd have go at Vito Giswaldi. I don't give a shit, man. You can't put it on me, right? If you dare, right, go, I've got 100K followers. I've got so many subs, mate. I'll laugh at you. You can't put that shit on me. In Main Street, that means nothing, and it means nothing to me on it. I don't give a shit, mate, how big you are. It's like, if you come on stream with me, I will have you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, mate. I will run all over you because I just don't care. I just don't care how big you are, how much money you got, how much. I tell you what, I do respect. I do. When you told me like Matthias Adelson, you go, "Oh, this guy, he's serious. He's minted," and I'm like, "Yeah, don't surprise me." Because he don't fuck about, does he? He gets in, he gets out.
Yeah.
He's very minimalistic. He says what he's
very
got to say,
direct.
and he goes back to work.
Yeah, very direct.
He doesn't engage in any of the bullshit, and that's why he's successful. You're not going to be successful, right? And I found this out to my detriment last week. If you're going to get in pitched battles with every person on fucking line, you know what I mean? I can't be arguing with. I can't be getting. I'll get in arguments with like some people, but I can't be arguing with fucking everyone all day. Because it's like, I find out 5 or 6 hours later, I haven't moved off the sofa, and I've been on the fucking like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? It's mad.
No, that's facts, bro. You have to pick your battles, especially the more exposure you get. But you know what's wild? You brought up Vito, and bro, what about what happened to Riley? You heard about that, right? About Sean and Mint Salad running off and breaking into his house,
right?
and then Ralph and Vito talked about it, and they just broke it all.
This is how you know, right? Even if you don't like me, right, you got to respect me, because Ray told me this 3 weeks ago, right? And I didn't say a fucking word to anyone. Not anyone, right? Juicy bit of gossip in the online world. But I'm a stand-up guy, right? When we were in the back before the stream, I would always ask Ray, can we talk about the Riley thing? And the answer would be no. So I kept stum. I shut my mouth. I didn't make jokes. I didn't allude to it. I didn't go wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I just like, I don't know. I just completely forgot. I pretended to completely forget about it. And like, because I want Riley to be on here. I want to stream with Riley.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on.
Opinion.
Yeah.
And like you and me had discussed before, I'm not simping for women. I will flirt with women. I will come on to women. I'll have some banter with women. But it's not in a simpy manner. You know, I'll do it with like the women in the chat, like Pat or Kerry or whoever. I'll do it with
Yeah.
Forest Mummy. I'll do it with Courtney. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's not in a simpy manner. I never rated Mint. I didn't like how she just showed up, right? She was on all the streams. Ethan was desperate to get her on there. The Comments Gate chat went mad for this girl, right? Who's half an idiot, right? Yeah. Looks like a dog and's got a hunchback, right? And suddenly they were making out she was fucking Marilyn Monroe. Now, I like Riley. I do like Riley. Riley's got a bit about him. I really like the segment where he went up a hill, you know, and said, I'm going to shave Eric July's hair. Comedy
Yeah.
gold. I
Yeah.
liked it that he had the balls to stand up to FNT, stand up. You know, he taught it. Alex Stein was there, Eric July and Ripperverse, and he stood there in a fucking cape and made
Yeah.
a fool out of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, Brandon could have absolutely annihilated him. We're under no
Yeah.
impression that Riley's a tough guy here. Brandon
No.
would have gone through him. They would have had to scrape his ass up off the floor, right? But
Yeah.
Riley stood there and took it like a man, right? And he got
Yeah.
arrested and he took that like a man. And I know for a fact that Riley was the brains behind that entire operation. Right?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
I had my way, I would get rid of Vito Giswaldi because he's a fat dollop snake, right? Who ran to Ethan Ralph, right? Who no one likes. Everyone knows he's a fucking Judas. Everyone knows he's fucked over every friend he's ever had, right? And he'll
Yeah.
fuck over Vito. He's even called Vito a nonce, right? He calls Vito a nonce to his face, behind his back. He thinks Vito's a sex offender. He actually thinks that, right? But he wants him on stream because he wants to get the Riley thing so he can get a couple of $100 in super chats. That's what kind of scumbag he is, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Vito wants to be it. So I say to Dick, right? Dick don't listen to me, but he should.
Yeah.
Get rid of Riley, right?
No, you want to
And
keep
bring
Riley.
No, get rid. Sorry. Get rid of Vito and replace him with Riley because Riley's got a bit about him. He's got natural talent and he's hungry. He wants to make a comeback, doesn't he, to show Mint and Schizo Sean what it's about. So, you know, he's hungry. He wants the money. You know, he wants to get back in the game. So I say, you know, give the boy a chance. I mean, you don't even stream with Vito inside your gaff no more. You can't stand him. He's streaming in his house. You're streaming in your house because you can't stand to be anywhere near that smelly joker, can you? It's like you don't want to be anywhere near him because it pains me that man has Italian blood. It actually makes me physically sick. If I could get rid of the Italian blood in my body, so I was nowhere near Vito Giswaldi, I would do. You know what I mean? Cut me to the quick, mate, and have all English blood. I don't know. It's like I tell you, he's such an oily, snaky individual that you can't trust. And it's like I never wanted to profit from Riley. I wanted to talk to him, you know, and because I think he'd be good content, he'd be good bands, he'd be good. He's got a bit about him, you know what I mean? And he don't need fucking Mint. Once he gets back on his feet, I mean, get to LA, you know what I mean? He'll be back in the game in next to no time.
100%. 100%. I agree with that. And I'm going to try and get him on to have a conversation with the bruvs and, you know, just kind of, you know, support him a little bit. And as he moves on, he's a very creative person. We're very excited about that. I could tell, James, you're all wound up, and I love it, bro. I love to see you all wound up about it.
I don't like what happened, right? You know what I mean? This is a guy, right? I have no respect. He dresses in a bunny suit, right? And he goes to people's houses and gives them shit. Now, I told you, I don't sign off on these internet types coming to people's gaffs. I don't care who they are. And if you like people, I don't like them just turning up at people's homes. These are people with family. They got kids. You know, I know Vito didn't when he turned up at Vito's, but you know, there's other people in it. There's other people in that complex where he lived, wasn't there?
Right.
You know, with families and whatever. I don't like people turning up at people's addresses. I don't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny for 5 minutes, then it stops being funny.
Yeah, then it gets scary. Yeah.
But like this Schizo Sean, I don't know anything about him, but I don't like the way they've gone about it, Mint. They've turned Riley over. You know, you've invited the bunny into the hen house, right? You've given him hospitality, and how's he repaid you? He's ran off with your bird. And then supposedly, allegedly, he's come back and they've taken a few things. I don't know if that's true or not. Can't prove it. Allegedly, they've come back when he's not been there. And they've done him over again. So I don't agree with any of that behaviour. I don't. I'm a stand-up guy. I'm one of your own, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that snidey, snaky behaviour. But this is the online types. We're like Main Street guys that have come online, and we're trying to do something and we're trying to build something. These people are terminally online people that I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them.
Yeah. Well, I did meet Sean in person, and he was a real nice guy when I met him, and we had really good conversations about a lot of things. And I agree with what Mersh said. Mersh covered it a day or two ago, and he said, I'm going to stay out of it as far as like the relationship. Mint is entirely free to love who she wants to love or go with whoever. The only thing that looked bad was that he got. Riley invited Sean in. Sean came down there, basically studied with him or whatever.
But that's a mistake.
Yeah.
That's a mistake. I will tell this to anyone, right? If you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter whether you're in the first flush of romance, it's a couple of months in, or you're 10 years into a relationship. Do not ever invite another man into your house. Leave him alone.
I was like, Riley, what's the angle there, Riley? That was a terrible idea.
I'm being so serious, man, because men are men and women are women.
Yes,
and if they get talking, they get a bit of drink in them, they get a bit of flirting, one thing leads to another, and that's the inevitable outcome. As soon as you don't invite another man into your gaff, because you're not going to be there 24/7.
Right.
And human nature is human nature. He might not start out being a snaky bastard. You know what I mean? It's just human nature.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen.
Well, the other thing is there's a level of excitement, about you're sneaking around, you're getting away with something, and women love that excitement. And so automatically the other person's going to be more exciting than your spouse because your spouse is boring, You live with them. You see them naked. You see them pick their nose and take a pee on the toilet or whatever. And so the other guy's going to be, oh, he's exciting. And so she's going to be like, wow, and then the sneaking around and it makes it all exciting. But then when you finally break off and go away, now you don't have to sneak anymore. Well, it turns out he's just as boring as the last guy. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the world that everyone's in online here. It's so silly to me. Look, how many stories, how many TV series, how many soap operas, how many books, how many have been written about these kind of menage a trois, like fucking these affairs of the heart. It's just you're putting it there. You're putting temptation right at someone's door, and they are they can deliberately accidentally open the door to the shower, and they see someone in the shower, and next thing you know, one thing leads to another. It was like. I think it was inevitable once that situation. I'm just saying, don't invite the fox into the hen. I'm not saying he's not a fox. He's definitely a bunny. I've seen him. He's a bunny. He's all right. He's a nice guy, but he's definitely a bunny. But never invite a fox like me into the hen house, mate.
Oh, for sure.
Wild.
Oh, for sure.
Just don't do it.
The other thing that really kind of broke my heart about the whole thing was that besides you can't say anything about people's relationships. Like I said, if Mint wants to go with Sean, that's fine, no big deal. And Riley's got to take it on the chin like a man, and he has been. The thing that makes me is now Vito gets to talk about it. Now Ralph gets to talk about it. Now Chrissy Mayer and Keanu and Gino, and they're all they should have.
Content and fodder, isn't it?
Well,
you have to decide. You have to decide what type of person you want to be as a streamer. Do you want to be the? See, I'm not au fait with this, but do you want to be a Dabbleverse type of person who deal in gossip?
Yeah.
They like to stir the pot, or do you want to be like us? We just want to talk to Riley and have a chat. You know what? I mean? Man to man.
Well,
that's kind of like how I feel about it.
Yeah, every man has gone through this, and I think it's kind of like a rite of passage for men. We get betrayed or our heart broken, and we kind of have to wise up a little bit. It's kind of like that fork in the road kind of concept, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about today was we'll bring the boys on here in a minute, but I wanted to talk about any kind of fork in the road decision that really changed your life, or maybe an experience that changed your life completely and sent you off in a new direction or a completely new perspective on life. For me, it was a car accident, and I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. But I had a car accident when I was in Costa Rica one time, and not only one that it took to change my life, but it completely changed my life. And James, have you had any kind of a situation like that of maybe a choice or maybe something that impacted you that changed your life dramatically?
Yeah, I had a really good job, and I was flying, Like, I was flying in the leisure industry, like at this leisure centre. I was just going right up the chain, like
Yeah.
quick as you like. And like I one night, it was like I can't remember. I think it was like a New Year's Eve party or something. I met this girl, but I'd had like I didn't think I'd gone over the limit, but I'd gone
Yeah.
over the limit, and
Okay.
I got pulled over, and I got convicted for drink driving, and I got a 12 months I got a 12-month ban on my driving license, and then I went to the course, so they knocked 3 months off, so I got 9 months. But the thing was, where I was working, I couldn't. I was travelling there, so I
Yeah.
couldn't get there without a car, and I was without a car. So what I had to do is I had to like quit my job, and I had to move to a different area. So I moved to Eastbourne, and then I started up again. And I always wonder, and then it kind of like I told you, I got into the party scene, didn't I? And I kind of
Yeah.
like let things slip and slide. I kind of think the problem, if I was literally like this much. I'd had a couple of beers. I didn't think I was over the limit, but I was. Got pops, just a random stop. And then that turned my life around where I was like, I was sailing up the leisure centre industry, But I lived where I was living now, and it was in the area. And like, you need a car to get around here because everything is miles away. You can't survive without a car. So
Yeah.
then, so I had to move to an area where I could get public transport until my ban expired after 9 months. And I always wonder what my life would have been like
Oof.
success-wise. Would I still be in that leisure industry? Would I
Yeah.
still be climbing up the ladder? And that my life kind of took in a different direction after that.
What is the leisure industry like? What is that like?
You would say like gyms, leisure centres,
Oh,
sports
okay.
centres.
Okay.
So
Cool. Cool. Yeah.
I was
Wow.
like heavy into that. I worked for a company that had a chain, and
Oh,
I
okay.
was
Okay.
like flying.
Yeah.
I was one of their young bright things. It was just
Yeah.
rising through the rank. I was at
Yeah.
management level at an extremely young age. Like I was at
Yeah.
management level at like 21. I was
Yeah.
management level. I
No.
was a
I
football coach there.
Yeah. And
I
you
was
got
like,
you got that charisma. You got that
yeah,
bravado.
I was flying. I was like, I used to work in the gym. I would do like training sessions and stuff like that. So I would do fitness classes and all that kind of stuff. I was like flying. I had everything that was going. And then one mistake, because I like me and the fucking women. What are you gonna do? It's like, fuck's sake. It's like, I was so desperate to get her back to where I wanted to get her that I didn't realise that I was fucking like, I'd literally had, it wasn't even pints, right? I had a couple of bottles, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I got fucking pops. And you don't think when you're a kid, do you? You're
No.
21 years old, you're a fucking idiot. You think
Yeah.
you can walk on water, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
get popped, you get a conviction, and it's like, where would my life would have been? Would I still be flying through the leisure? Would I stayed in leisure? I mean, I'd be an old man in leisure now. Probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing it, but then I go to like thingy and get like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a sliding doors moment. What if I hadn't had those couple of beers? What if I hadn't met this girl? What if I hadn't got,
Yeah,
it's one
yeah.
of them
No,
things.
no, I totally hear you. I actually got pulled over for a DUI one time, late at night at like 2 a.m. and I got pulled over by a woman cop, bro, a female cop, and I was like, it was just, I had just gotten fast food from like a taco shop, and I was in Encinitas, California, and that's a little surf town, and I was out with the guys. We were gonna go do something else. We were gonna go back to somebody's house and play video games and eat tacos after the bar or whatever. And I had maybe I had 2 beers because I really didn't like beer. I didn't really drink beer. And the cop pulled me over because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's right when all the bars close in California. And so she knew that the probability that we had been at a bar was pretty high. And so she pulled me over. She had me do all of the bullshit and everything, and I did it all just fine. And like I said, I'd only had 2 beers. And then she said, I think you're drunk. I can't tell, but I think you're drunk. And of course, I said, okay, well, so you gonna let me go or what? And then she's all, no, I need you to do the breathalyzer. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do a breathalyzer. You don't even know what you're talking about. So we got in this back and forth about it. And then she said, well, I'm just gonna arrest you and take you into the station. So she did. She arrested me. Then they took my blood and made me spend the night in jail. And I spent the night in jail, and I met all of these guys from the Navy. It was awesome. I had a great night in jail, bro. I met all these guys from the Navy. We were all in the drunk tank. Now I was sober. Like I said, I only had like 2 Miller Lights. I was sober when she arrested me. They ended up dropping the charges because my blood alcohol was way below. And it turned out she was just trying to fulfill a quota. She even admitted that. She said it right in front of the booking agent that she said I'm the last one for her quota. And I was so pissed off about that. But then I spent the night in jail and I was with all these guys from the Navy. You know, and we all told our drunk guy stories about, this one guy, he drove through a fast food and he had like 3 women with him and he drove over the fast food curb and hit the sign and knocked it over like at a Jack in the Box or something. And then this other guy, you know, he drove like over an embankment into somebody's yard. But it was a really good time. I actually had a blast.
But you know, it's so weird because we were talking about it. I was in Courtney Brooks' chat yesterday, wasn't I? I was saying about it. She watches those body cam footage videos. That's one of her big things, right? And I was like, can I watch your body cam footage video? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was doing all that stuff, right? But like, she did one about this like little princess, you know what I mean? This like Real Housewives type who got pulled over. Like Forrest Mummy was in the chat at the time. She was a real good looking bird and that. But you do it so different. It's like, over here, right, we don't get like an opportunity. The cops over here are real hard ass, right? They just shove the breathalyzer, right? And they're like you've got to breathe continuously for 30 seconds, right? So you go like, for your breathing, you go, and I couldn't do it the first time. My breath kept giving out, man. I was like, fuck. And they go, if you don't do this on the 3rd time, they go, we're going to arrest you. So like, I did it on the 3rd time, and they were like, "Oh, you're over the limit," and all that, and then they take you back to the thing. But you have to do all these like weird song and dances, like. Can you recite the alphabet backwards? Can you put one foot in front of the other? And they don't do any of that shit over here, mate. It's just breathe. You're either clear to go, or you get arrested because you're over the limit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. We don't have any of the rigmarole that you have. Like, it's crazy. Like the things you go. I reckon if I'd have had your thing, I could have easily put one foot in front of the other. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't. I was confident. I didn't crash the car. It was just, like someone's in a lay-by and they just randomly pull you over. That's how shit out of luck I was. It was just some guy at night after the club randomly pulled me up. I reckon he was jealous because he saw how hot the bird was and he just wanted to ruin my night. And he totally ruined my life for fucking 9 months. How unlucky is that? But you live your life. When you're young, I think when you do stuff like that when you're older, it's shit. But I was young, you know what I mean? I did it at a young age. I was 21 years old, you know what I mean? I passed my driving test when I was like 18, so I'd been driving for like 3 fucking years.
Forever.
You know I mean? And it's like fucking, it's one of them things, you live, you learn. But like, it was amazing all the rigmarole that you go through, and you get to talk and you get to banter, and they play along with you. All the cops over here are hard, they don't joke with you, they just shove that breathalyzer in your mouth, and it's like fucking... Start breathing, man.
Yeah. No, the reason is because the breathalyzer is not admissible in court, and so they try to build a circumstantial. They try to get you to incriminate yourself, really, and say, "Okay, I'm drunk." That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to prove that you can't walk straight. So they go, "Oh, I'm drunk," and then as soon as you say you're drunk, then they can arrest you without any blowback. But because I didn't do that, and she wanted to put me in the drunk tank and fulfill her quota, and then they made me take blood. And if they make you take blood, then it's an automatic arrest. And then they even make you have to chase down your blood work and everything like that. So I did that. I was depressed for like 2 weeks or whatever. I had all of these lawyers sending me the DUI package, to pick me so I can represent you in the DUI. And I was like, oh man. I was really depressed, bro. And then I went and I got my, I had to go and I had to find the crime lab and get my blood tox screen, and it came back. They don't even read it to you. They just give you this little printout. That's like this little, it looks like a receipt from a grocery store. And I was trying to figure it out, and then I saw 0.04. And the legal limit here is 0.08. And so I was half under that. And so I was like, that dirty bitch was just trying to fucking get her quota and put me in jail. And I broke my toe, right? I broke a bone in my foot right after that. And so I was on crutches going up trying to get it. And then I took it back to the state legal office, or whatever the DA is, district attorney, and I gave it to them. They said, oh yeah, well, we're not going to file charges at this time, but we reserve the right if later we change our mind. I was like, man, fuck you guys.
Do you know how naive I was, right? This is a 21-year-old, right?
Yeah.
I was talking with the people at the leisure centre, and I was like, do you think if I write some kind of like, like apologetic speech, I'll get away with it? And they were like, yeah, you might do, right? I think they were just taking the piss out of me, all the other people I was working with. So I wrote this big long thing, right? And I was like, okay, you're right. I'm like, yeah, my name's James Grabham. I just want to read this statement. And I'm like, let's stop you right there, Mr. Grabham. You're guilty. You're doing 12 months. That's that. And that was literally walked in. That's how they do it. They process it, mate. It's like guilty, done, 12 months. And they're like, you can get it reduced by 3 months if you go to said 4-day like Alki loser program or whatever it is that you got to go to. So I sat there for 4 days with my A4 pad and pen going, I will not do drink driving again. I'm a very bad person. I repent of all my sins. I had to do 4 days of that. Can you imagine? With all the other people that got popped. Some of the people in there were raging alcoholics, mate. This is the thing they were doing. They were going to me, but they go, Joe, I can't wait to go down the pub. Do you want to come? We go get a drink. I go, I don't think that's a smart idea considering what we're in here for. You know what I mean? He goes, oh, don't worry. He goes, pub's open at 12. Let's go and get a drink. And I'm like, they were literally turning back up, right? They were turning back up because they broke it up into 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the afternoon. They were turning up in the afternoon after that. They were drunk. And the geezer that was taking the class was just laughing at him. And I was standing there going, don't look at me. I had a lemon. Don't look at me. I had a lemonade, mate. I'm doing this. I want my license back. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm on the lemonades and the orange juices.
But nothing happened to those guys, right? Like the government doesn't care, bro. It's a paper game. They don't care.
Love it because they'll get their license back and then they'll get it taken away. I think it's mad, right? This is how stupid it is in our country, right? If you're a Joe Nobody like me, they will throw the absolute book at you for anything, right? But we've got like a kind of like celebrity type called Katie Price, right? Yeah. She's like an old brass, you know what I mean? But she used to do all the lab mags and now she's a bit old and she looks terrible. She's done all the face. She lives in Brighton, like Hove, not far from me, and she gets convicted, right? Never gets convicted. She's got umpteen dozen points, always gets pulled over for dangerous driving, drink driving. And what happens is she goes in front of the beak, right? And she'll go, oh, my son's disabled. I need to drive him about. You know, he needs me. I'm his full-time carer. And they're like, yeah, we'll just let you pass. You know what I mean? If you've got like an out, you're fine. If you're famous, you're fine. But guys like me, they will get the book thrown at them. I mean, I've never had, right? This is so ridiculous. That's the only point. That's the only thing I had on my license. I've never been done for speeding. I have 0 points on my license. That's the one thing that was on my license. It's expunged now because it was years ago. But that was the one thing that was on my license. The only time I've ever been popped. Never been done for speeding. Never been popped for anything else. And it's like they get away with it, and I get fucking clobbered, mate.
No, 100%. I 100% agree with that. And that's crazy. That is really crazy. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the link in the chat for the guys.
You think I was fucking Charlie Sheen, mate? They should have given me a pass. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No. Now it's true. It's a big racket. It's a big racket, and it really impacted your life. It changed the course of your life. You know, who knows if you were at that job? Maybe you'd be governor of London right now. Who knows? Right?
Maybe I'll be running. Maybe I'll be running the entire chain. You know what I mean? I'll be in the office running the entire chain. But
right.
Instead, I'm on stream talking to you, and we're having a grand old time, aren't we? So everything happens for a reason. I'm not going to cry. I don't give a shit. I'm a bit of a. Look, I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit of a wide boy. I'm not going to.
No. What's a wide boy?
Wide boy is a bit, a bit tricky, you know, a bit moody, a bit. Okay. Like, I'm not like being. It's like I'm not like averse to getting in trouble. You know what?
I got you.
I'm not like a fucking. You know what I'm saying?
You're not a choir boy. Yeah. You're not a choir boy.
That's what I was looking for. I was trying to get the words out. I'm trying to be. After last week's shenanigans, I'm trying to be so careful and colour between the lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's YouTube, and I'm trying to be on my best boy behaviour. Don't swear too much. You know. Don't say anything incriminating. Don't wave like guns around. I'm fucking. You know what I'm saying? No, not that we have guns in this country. Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah. Now, I was going to share briefly a story that changed my life. And the thing that really impacted my life, it was a number of years ago. And I was at the time, I was an engineer. And of course, I was I was excited. I had lived in Hawaii for about 2.5 years, and then I moved back to San Diego, and I got a job at a defense contractor, and I was an engineer for a defense contractor down on Balboa Avenue. And I was like, yeah, this is cool, this is awesome. And then I go there, and all of the people are really nice, but they're a lot older than I am. Okay, and so one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to go surfing around the world, and I had been surfing all over America, and I'd been surfing in down in Hawaii, and what I really wanted to do is I wanted to go to Costa Rica and some other places. And so my brother and I got us a trip, and we went down to Costa Rica. And we went down from the southern part of Costa Rica. What's up, John? John just entered the stream. Hey, good to see you, John. Oh, we just went and entered the western side of Costa Rica, and we went all the way down from Manuel Antonio, which is far in the south, all the way up to Witch's Rock, which is up in Malpais, Tamarindo area. And we were driving to some other surf breaks, and we got in a really bad car wreck. And the car wreck was so bad that it destroyed like about 6 or 7 inches of my femur. It just turned it into gravel. That's the biggest bone in your body, in your leg. And my leg was like Gumby. It was just like bouncing around like this when I got pulled out of the truck. Yeah. And I got somebody pulled up in a Red Cross van, and they drove me like 8 or 10 hours down out of the jungle. And they drove me into this hospital that was like the MASH hospital. I don't know if you guys have ever seen MASH, the 4077, the TV show or the movie, but it was just like that. And they put me in there, and there was one surgeon, and he had like 6 beds around him, and in each bed was a different person. And with those people, they had their family with them, which was really shocking to me. I thought it was going to be like a normal hospital, but it wasn't. It was like a third world type of hospital, and they didn't even have very good lighting. And so he was like coming and talking to me as he was going from bed to bed, and he was basically saying, we're going to have to cut your leg off. We're going to have to amputate it. And I was like, the hell you are? You ain't cutting my leg off. And he said, well, the best we could do is wrap it in wire, but you'll probably never really be able to walk again. And I was like, what the fuck? No. And so he said, well, if you don't want any of that, then we're going to have to, you sign these papers, and you can be discharged, and then find your own way. And so at this point, I had been in a car accident like 10 hours ago. I was completely in shock. My body was all shaking, and I signed my discharge papers, and they wheeled me out onto the parking lot in a gurney. They just left me in the parking lot. And so my brother called around and finally found a private hospital, and there was a really nice private hospital, and it was called SEMA Hospital. It's in San Juan, Costa Rica, and it's a sister hospital of Baylor University in Texas. Okay, and so they finally came and picked me up in a real ambulance. And when I got in there in the ambulance, the guys in the ambulance said, "Hey, how come you didn't have the helicopter come pick you up?" And I said, helicopter? I didn't even know. There was these guys in a Red Cross van. And the guy said, oh, well, every trip that they make, they get paid $20. So they wanted to get their $20. And I said, hell, man, I would have given them
lost your leg for $20.
Yeah, I would have given them $20 to, just to call the helicopter for me. And so what happened was they took me into the hospital. This was like the accident happened like at 7 o'clock in the morning. I finally got to the hospital maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night, okay? And then I go into the hospital, and I'm on a gurney, and this doctor walks up to me, an orthopedic surgeon, and he's in a full suit. And he's a nice-looking man, and he's 6'6", bro. He's a tall motherfucker. And he had just gotten back from, he worked with the Cleveland Browns. He was their sports orthopedic surgeon for the Cleveland Browns, bro. And so that's a football team in America, a professional football team. And
they suck. They're the worst team.
Well, yeah.
They got Shador, baby. Shador. They got Shador.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but they have great medical care. And so the guy comes in, he says, don't worry, we're going to get you taken care of. And he gives me, the nurse comes over and gives me this big old shot of morphine. And I'm like, holy shit, morphine. And she uploaded it right into my fucking hip right there. And then I felt all happy and warm. And after that, and he took me into the surgical amphitheater. And he was sideways, and he was beating on this big metal object. And it looked like it had arms and legs, and it had all these clamps on it. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, that's for you, buddy. And they picked me up, put me on that thing, and then I don't remember anything for like a day and a half. But once I got back to America, and the funny thing was I had great medical insurance at that time because I was an engineer and I worked for the defense contractors and everything like that. And they would have flown me back on a private jet. I figured that out. They were going to send a private jet to pick me up. And not that I was really special or anything like that. It's just, at that time I had a secret clearance or whatever. And, all this stuff was going on. And so that's part of it, I guess. I don't know. And so they were going to fly me back, but they had put me on a plane. I was on the same plane I was going to fly back normally in, and there was a person that sat right behind me that was driving behind us that saw the car wreck. And they saw what had happened, and this big semi-truck had run us off the road into a concrete bridge. And the guy said that our truck flipped up in the air like 6 feet and then came back down. So it was quite a horrific crash. And when I got back, I went and I met with my orthopedic surgeon in Scripps in La Jolla, or in down in that area. I forget exactly where it was. It was in where was it? It was in the gay part of town. I forget. But the orthopedic surgeon was so mad at me because he said you should have never flown back so soon because you could have had a pulmonary embolism from your leg because how messed up it was. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And when he did that, I had to take blood thinners in my stomach for maybe like 4 or 5 months. And then I had about a 2-year recovery time. And I couldn't walk for about 6 months. And then they had me in a wheelchair for another 3 months. And then finally I was up on crutches. I had to do all kinds of physical therapy for about 1.5 years and to get back to normal. And I was like, I don't think I want to be an engineer anymore. And so at that point, I kind of felt like I had, extra time on the clock, so to speak, in my life. And I really wanted to do something that made me happy. And so when I was younger, I'd always wanted to be an artist. But when I went to high school, everybody said, oh, artists don't make money. You can't do that. And if you're good at being an engineer, you should go ahead and be an engineer. So that's why I became an engineer, so I wouldn't be poor. But then after that car wreck, all I wanted to do was do things that made me excited. And so that's why I started pursuing art full time. And then I went to an art school, and then I went and I studied with a master artist, Yi Mao Kun, over in Taiwan for 2 years. And that completely changed my life, completely redirected the direction I was going in. And all the people that I met while being an engineer were tremendous people. They were all fantastic. And the company that I worked at was fantastic, and they were so kind to me. It was L3 Communications. They were so kind to me. All the people there even gave me extra vacation because in order to keep up my medical insurance and not have that lapse, because I still had to have a couple more surgeries after I had the initial surgery to remove a whole bunch of the pins and the metal that was in my leg. And in fact, I still have a rod about this big that goes from the top of my hip all the way down to my knee. And I got back pretty much almost maybe 95% of my leg. So thank God. But I almost lost it. And so that's one thing that really changed my life. It was pretty crazy. And I haven't been back to Costa Rica since. You know what I mean? So that's pretty wild. But John, have you had
put my story into perspective, doesn't it? Fucking hell, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I tell ya, a little drink driving or a life and death situation. Bloody hell.
Well, you know what was really interesting about that is I can say for sure that time does slow down when you're in the middle of that kind of thing, because I remember we got in a car wreck and I was going towards the windshield and I could see the crack on the windshield start to go and really slowly up the windshield. And I thought to myself, wow, we are right now in a wreck. We're in a car wreck right now. And then I hit the windshield, and then I woke up maybe an hour later and all that. And
I've been in a car accident.
Yeah, I was spitting glass that was embedded in my cheeks, for another week. I would find a piece of glass in my mouth and spit it out because it was in my cheeks. All of my teeth on the right side, I got destroyed, and I had to have, crowns and everything. I had to have them all taken out and put back in. So it was a pretty significant thing and definitely changed my life. But the DUI though, you lose that girl, you get that heartbreak. That's pretty substantial, bro. I totally feel you on that one.
I've been in that experience. I've been like a passenger in a car accident where we were behind a van, you know, with building materials.
Yeah.
And it came uncoupled, and the building materials came on.
Oh.
Went underneath the car carriage, pushed us onto the other side of the road, and they got like the car from the opposite side of the road whacked into us. And like all I've got is like a slight scar here on my knuckles.
Yeah.
And the geezer said to me, like, when I went into like the hospital, he said to me, "Mate, you should be dead. You're proper lucky, ain't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great, mate. You know what I mean?" He was a funny guy, you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird how people that deal with life and death situations every day talk about life and death situations. You think, "Oh, fuck me, I could have died." You know, all that building materials, the car whacked into us. And he's like, "Yeah, it's just a Monday for me, mate."
That's the truth.
They
John,
deal with it every day, don't they? They deal with the blood, the guts, the thunder. You know, they deal with death every day. So to them, death is just another day, isn't it? It's it's their whole profession.
Yeah, they get that really dark sense of humor, which I like it though. I like the dark sense of humor.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm a lucky bastard, then, ain't I, mate? Fucking hell.
John.
Better go out and do the lottery.
Yeah. Oh, you better get that scratcher going. Now, John, have you ever had a life-changing experience, or maybe you made like a choice that changed your life in a dramatic way, or anything like that?
Man, I've life or death, not so much.
Well, it doesn't have to be life or death. Just something where like you didn't realize it at the time, but maybe the choice. Like, maybe you picked up a red, a red umbrella instead of a blue umbrella. And then it ended up, like a movie. It changed the entire course of your life or something,
I want to hear about the DJing world, man. I'm interested in the DJing world.
Well, I'm not like a big DJ or anything. I just do it kind of for the shits and giggles. It's like a hobby to me that once in a while I get a paid gig and it's fun. But I would do it for free anyway. I just really enjoyed playing with the music.
You'd love it in Europe. You would fucking love it in Europe. You would be fucking...
Oh, I'm sure.
You'd be killing it, mate. You'd be killing it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Miami's very hard. Everyone's a DJ. There's limited spots. It's a great place. I love Miami. I never want to leave, but it is not easy to make it as a DJ, as a working DJ.
Yeah, you got to have the hookup.
Have like a day job. Yeah, you really
Miami,
do.
I think of Pitbull.
Yeah.
No.
I love Pitbull, man. I think a little Pitbull, man.
Little Mr. 305, or is that what it is? Is that what it says?
Well, he was Mr. 305, and then he became Mr. Worldwide, right?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Worldwide. That's right. No, he was a shit for a minute, bro. Pitbull was where it was at.
I actually know a guy who produced some of his underground mixtapes back in the day. It's kind of funny.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
But for me, I had some pretty crazy moments. Back in like 2011, I had busted, it was like 2009. I had busted my knee. Oof. I had to have surgery, and then the doctors told me, "Hey, if you lose some weight, it'll really help your knee, because the more weight you take off above your knee, it's like 2 to 5 times the weight that you're putting on your knee, effectively."
And that's when you got a divorce. You lost 130 pounds. No, I was kidding.
No, I lost close to 60 at that point. And then I was going out with a couple of friends to go play basketball to get some extra cardio before work.
Yeah.
And then I was at the park playing basketball, and I was guarding a guy. And when they say, "Oh, they broke that end's ankles," right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was guarding the guy. He juked one way. He faked me out a little bit, but I went with him to like cover him, but my knee locked up.
Oh.
And the next thing you know, I'm laying on the court with my foot facing behind me.
Oh.
Yeah.
The American Dad episode, didn't it? With fucking Roger the Alien, we're at the old heads. There's an episode with the old heads episode with like Stan and Roger.
Yeah, on American Dad. Yeah, on American Dad,
and then he does his ankle, doesn't he? And Shaq's in it, and Yao Ming.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, I haven't seen that one.
So you broke your leg. It just went around the other direction. Did the knee failed, or did it mechanically break, or what happened?
No. Well, so I heard like a bunch of loud pops, and like I didn't look down, and the way it felt and the sounds it made, I thought
Holy
my whole
shit,
leg
bro!
was shattered.
You're giving me the heebie-jeebies right now, man. You're freaking me out right now.
I thought my whole leg was shattered, and then my buddies were like, "Don't look, don't look, don't look! It's so bad."
Oh,
And so like they were gassing me up in my head to make me think it was worse than it actually was. And then I was finally like, "All right, I'm gonna look." And then I look, and the words out of my mouth were like perfect. It was like, "Oh, it's not that bad," except that my foot was pointing behind me.
oh.
But in my head, my whole leg was in pieces, right?
Could,
That's what I
could you?
thought it was.
Yeah, could you feel it? Did it hurt, or was it just the replacement knee that gave out?
No, well, it wasn't a replacement knee. I had only had like an arthroscopy. The knee just
Oh.
locked up, but the knee was fine. It was just my ankle. My foot was like, yeah, it was a spiral fracture. And so, like,
So he
my
did
whole
break
leg
your
was straight
ankles.
down. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, he did. Totally broke my ankle.
Oh, I thought it was your
And-
knee.
And this was at the time when there weren't really a lot of cell phones. But every once in a while, I go and look on YouTube to see if I see myself on the ground, because I was just like there, like it hurt so much. I was like, I gotta do something about this pain. So I just started like punching the concrete to try and like make pain somewhere else
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get my head off of the pain in my ankle.
Oh,
And then they fucking hauled me off. The ambulance came, took me off on the stretcher. The whole ride there sucked because every little bounce, my foot was like.
did they not
pressuring.
give you any kind of morphine or anything?
No, not at that point. So they got me to the hospital. They didn't give me anything. They had me just in a bed there waiting, like in some back room. And then the doctors came in. And they're like, "All right, we're gonna reset your ankle now." And then they were telling me they were gonna give me some kind of drug. So they put like an oxygen thing on my face. And I remembered from my knee surgery, okay, they're gonna have me count, and then that's gonna put me out while they like plop my ankle back. And then I was like, "This is the stuff that knocks me out, right?" And they're like, "No, we lied. We're not giving you anything for this."
What? Why didn't
Yeah,
they give
and
you
they
anything? No, Carrie's like saying no nitrous, no nothing.
Not a damn thing. They twisted it back, and then afterwards they gave me some painkillers. But at that point, it was like I'm going through the worst pain of my life. And,
Yeah, I don't get it. Did you stay in the hospital for like a day or two, or they just throw you out right away?
No, they twisted it back, but the ankle, the three bones in my ankle were broken. So
Yeah.
the next day they had to do surgery. They put a plate and 3 screws, and then they were giving me like, they were basically going back and forth between Dilaudid and Demerol, which are like pretty much the 2 strongest things they give out in the hospital. And it was really bad. Like I was like hallucinating.
Yeah.
Like it didn't really take the pain away, but it just kind of like put my mind somewhere else where I wasn't really caring about the pain.
Roquefort
But I was
Macabre
still
says.
feeling it.
Roquefort Macabre says this seems like some kind of torture, some kind of subtle torture. 100%, bro.
I've got a story for you, right? I've got
Yeah.
a story for you.
Let's
Right,
hear it.
I'm 15 years old, right? And we're doing, you called it gym class, but we're doing PE. We call it physical education. And my teacher, Mr. Moore, is a complete fucking hard ass, right? And he's riding everyone. And we're doing like indoor 60-meter sprints, yeah? So I'm going hell for leather, right? And I can't slow down. The wall's coming and I can't slow down. And my left knee completely smashes into the wall, right? So I've done serious damage. And Mr. Moore's like, "Stop fucking around, James. You're having a son. Get back out there and start running." So I carry on doing I'm doing the 60-meter sprints after that, and I'm like, "Oh fucking hell, mate! This is something seriously wrong here." And we get to the end of the lesson, right? And he doesn't realise I've broke my patella in 3 places.
Wow.
There's no one at home, right? So I've got to walk home a fucking mile in the countryside, right? With a fucking bashed up knee, like it's fractured in 3 places. So I get home, right? And then I run myself a bath. And then my leg completely locks. It's the size of a fucking grapefruit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm in good shape here. And then when I get to the hospital, they get a needle about this. I can't even do it. They get a needle, right? So say it. They get a needle about this fucking big off screen here, and they aspirate me. And the amount of blood and shit that was on there, man.
Oh,
Fucking,
that's horrible.
That was a 6 week job, man. I was in agony because the night they don't put the casts on straight away. So I
Yeah.
had a back slap for 24 hours, and I was
Oh.
on the sofa in absolute fucking agony, man.
Did they not
That
give
was
you
the
any no painkillers or?
no. I was like, they didn't give me nothing. Fucking, it's the fucking National Health Service over here, isn't it? I fucking, it's all shit, man.
Bro, when I broke my leg and I had all those surgeries, they gave me Percocet by the gallon, bro. They gave me Percocet bottles. I'm serious, that were like this big, and they were the big ones too, not the little Percocets, the big ones. And there was only like once or twice that I actually needed them. But by the end of like, because I tried hard not to, because I had heard about how addictive they were, and I tried hard not to use them. But by the end of like the time I had been on that little bent or whatever, I had like 5 or 6 of those big ass jars, like those plastic containers full of Percocet. And I remember after I had my final surgery and I was doing my rehab and all of that, I still had them. And one of my friends came over, and she was a big pillhead, and I didn't really know how big of a pillhead she was. I thought she was just having a good time, but she saw all those in my night cabinet, and she like went bonkers trying to ask me how much I'd sell them to her for, because she was like apparently she hit the gold mine, and I just gave them to her. I was like, I'm not gonna sell them to you. I just give them to you, and so I gave her like,
Oh God.
like there was.
I was born in England and not America. I'll be strung out worse than Ralph. Fuck, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
with my
yeah.
personality, I'll be on it.
Yeah, and
What year was that, Ray?
That was maybe 2006, 2007 era. Yeah. And but they were like they were big, it was a big thing, and they gave me like unlimited refills because I had that metal in my leg, and at that time my mom, she would come help me out, and she just kept going and picking up my scripts. And I was really close to my orthopedic surgeon. He was like a stand-up guy, bro, and he was getting ready to retire. And so he was like, "You're my last project. I want to make sure you're good." And so he said, "Whatever you need, I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you more than you need." And he was a really good guy. In fact, I went and had my insurance had run out at the end, and he said, "Okay, well, we still have to take a lot of metal out of you." And I didn't have full range of motion because I had pins going through the hip joint and through my knee and everything. So I couldn't move all the way because they would go into my joint. And he said, "We still have to take all those out." And I said, "Okay, we'll take them out." And he said, "Well, I'll donate my time to you." He donated his time. He didn't charge me any fees. He got an anesthesiologist, and he paid for the anesthesiologist. He said the only thing I'd have to cover was the room. In scripts. And so I said, okay. I said, how much is that going to be? He said, I don't know, maybe like $5,000. So I said, okay. So we had the surgery. I was only in there for an hour. He got me in there. He took care of everything. He took care of me. I got out. A month later, I get a bill in the mail from Scripps Hospital for $50,000.
Wow.
$50,000. And I was like fucking knocked on my ass. I was so freaked out about that because, this was like towards a year and a half mark that I hadn't worked, for a year and a half. I'd been in the bed, I'd been in the wheelchair, I'd been on the crutches, I'd been trying to go and do my rehab and all that stuff. And so I was like, holy shit. So I called them, tried to get on a payment plan, and one thing after another. But it eventually all worked out and got taken care of. But man, I thought for an hour $5,000 for a room was probably max, and everything else was donated. Like he donated his time, he got the anesthesiologist to donate their time, and the nurse to donate her time, and we got it all taken care of. I'm pretty sure he paid them. I'm pretty sure he paid those people. He was a really good, awesome guy. His name was Dr. Taunts. He was an orthopedic surgeon in Scripps, Mercy, and he was incredible, man. He still is probably. Of course, I haven't talked to him in maybe over a little while, 15 years or something like that. But yeah, so that was wild, man. That was a wild little time. But they were giving
kind of wild.
They were giving out the painkillers, but no painkillers for you, huh, John?
They gave me, after I got out of the hospital, they gave me a week of Percocets.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't refill them. And my pain was real bad. So like 3 or 4 days after the surgery, they had to put my leg not in a cast, but in a real tight splint kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I was in that for like maybe a month and a half or so before they could finally put the cast on. But they put it on so tight that when they took it off to put the cast on, my foot, my heel, like at the back of my foot, had like a bunch of layers of skin just scraped off because of how tight the splint was on there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was bad, and they wouldn't give me any more painkillers because that was like around the time where Miami was known as like a tourist place for people to get pills.
Yeah.
Because they weren't tracking, like you could go to one clinic, say you were in pain, then go to another clinic, and there was no cross information, so you could go to like 30 clinics, get 30 prescriptions, and no one would know, and people were selling those. So that had just blown up down here, so they were like not really giving out painkillers. But I'm kind of glad they didn't, because after that week, even though I didn't like the way they made me feel, and they didn't really help with the weed helped with the pain a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, but the pills didn't.
Yeah.
But I was feeling like a fiend needing the pills, even though I knew that they didn't really help.
Yeah.
After just 1 week, so I am glad that they didn't refill them, because who knows where I would be if they did.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it reminds me of that the scene in Justified, that whole season where they had the pill mills. You know, I don't know if you guys ever watched Justified, but I love that show.
And Boy Crowder is one of the greatest characters.
Yeah, I love Boy Crowder. Now, how long did it take you to recover from that one, John, from your ankle? Did it take you a long time, and did it change the way you looked at life afterwards, or did you kind of just go back to normal?
Well, so I at first was trying to just crutch everywhere, and I had a wheelchair, but I was trying to just use the crutches and get by with that, because I had lost 60 pounds. I didn't want to just now be stuck in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But after like about a month or so of the crutches, you're not supposed to prop them up right here. You're supposed to like hold your weight with your hands.
Yeah.
And my hands were like blistering because I was like trying to stay active.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to use the wheelchair just because I couldn't keep crutching anymore. I was literally tearing up my hands, and I was in a wheelchair for like 6 months.
Now, okay, I got a good question for you. Did you notice how people treated you when you were in a wheelchair? What was your observations on that? Did they treat you different? Because I noticed they treated me different. Is why I had
a couple of really close friends who helped me out with like rides and stuff, because I couldn't drive. My car had broken down anyway, but I wouldn't have been able to drive and like lug the wheel. I couldn't stand. Like I didn't have. I was in a cast, and then after the 6 months, they put me in a boot, and I was able to start walking again. But other than like the couple of close friends that were really like helping me out, people were kind of shitty.
Like at that time,
I've been calling you Ironside all the time. I'll be right, Ironside.
Yeah, he's Raymond Burr. He's the Cuban Raymond Burr.
I mean, at first it was really cool. Like everyone was like cool and supportive and all that, but I was in it for the long haul because it was like a really bad break. And I would say like after the first month or so, like a lot of people started disappearing and stuff. But yeah,
they do that. Fair weather friends, man.
Yeah, I had a similar situation. I lived in Hillcrest, which is the gay part of San Diego, and it's the nicest part. And I had a funny story about how I ended up there, but I'll tell that one another time. Anyway, everybody can be out and about in that area, and a lot of people are walking around, and so I would wheelchair like up and get a hamburger or tacos or whatever, and everybody treats you like you're retarded. That's what I got. Like, everybody was treating me like I didn't understand how to do anything. And I was like, bro, my fucking leg's broken. It's not my brain. But then after a while, I just...
That's everyday life for me. I don't worry about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then after a while, I got tired of telling people, so I just went along with whatever. And if they were like, do you want some ketchup with your hamburger? And I'd be like... Yeah, can you put it on for me? Oh, I'll put it on for you. You know what I mean? And so I just kind of went along with it, because it was too hard to correct people like every hour, every 5 hours, or every other day. I just got tired of it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of
Yeah.
what my impression was. And
Now,
then,
for me, it wasn't the mental thing. It was just
I
like,
held the door open for a woman the other day, and she gave me a a lot of verbal abuse. She's like, I don't need a man to open the door for me. I can do it. And I'm like, fucking hell, mate. You know what I mean?
yeah, she.
The total opposite, Give someone a helping hand over here, mate. You get both barrels.
yeah. What were you saying, John?
I was saying, for me, it wasn't like they were treating me like I was retarded or anything. It was just, and to be fair, I was. It was just like I was a burden, Like I couldn't, if anyone wanted to take me anywhere to hang out, I'd have to get out my wheelchair, jump in the car, then they'd have to go take that, throw it in the trunk. So I was kind of a burden, but don't make me feel that way when I'm already like fucking going
Yeah.
through shit, feeling kind of depressed and like kind of wondering what's gonna happen.
No, it is very difficult, and at that time, it's okay the first couple of months, and then by month 6, 7, or 8, your friends start to drop off, and you really start to lean on your family, and that's where the family is so important. And for people without family, it becomes really difficult in that time frame because people get tired of it. I'm tired of pushing the wheelchair. I'm tired of helping you out. I'm tired of putting mayonnaise on your tacos. You know what I'm saying? Or like with James, I'm tired of opening doors for these women who don't want to have their doors open for them. You know what I'm saying? But
They obviously know I've got a hidden agenda, don't they? They can see the look in my beady eyes that I want something more being nice and generous. You know what I mean?
Who doesn't? Let's be real. Who doesn't, right? And they want it that way too. They're just lying. They want it that way.
I'm not holding the door for the fat birds. I just want it out there. You know what I'm saying?
They know he's only holding open the door because he's trying to open up their back door.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's one of those things for sure, bro, for sure. But anyway, so after I had my little car wreck and my big car wreck, I was actually I was a passenger. I wasn't driving. My brother was driving, and we had a big old diesel 4x4 Toyota. And it was a big beast of a truck, and it got thrown like a little fly. But after a while, I just decided, hey, I can't go back to being an engineer anymore. I got to try and do this art thing. And then after that, it changed my whole life, and it's been different ever since then. And of course, I've surfed a lot of places, surfed around the world, and all that stuff, and had a good time doing that. But it's just kind of the same thing that like when another thing that changed my life was that COVID thing. I don't know if COVID changed your guys' life, but it totally changed my life because it got rid of the galleries. I had to move. I had to change the way I sought out an audience, and ultimately it led me here to streaming. And now I got an opportunity to meet you guys, you two great guys, and everybody else, all the other fantastic people that I've been able to meet. And so that's been real enjoyable too. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's exactly the same with me. I was an offline guy. I'd never done anything online pre-COVID. It just wasn't my bag. And then, of course, you're isolated, so you go, oh, fuck it, what are you going to do all day? So you start venturing in online. And, like, me and you hooked up, and long story short, this is where we find ourselves. You were like, oh, do you want to come on and do a bit of streaming? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Fuck it, I'll come on. Have a laugh. It seems like fun. And that's it. Long story short, that's where we find ourselves. COVID put a lot of people that were really social in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Put them in a fucking really bad spot. Completely jammed them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you got to make the best of it. And we made the best of it, didn't we? We're here now. We're having a laugh. We're entertaining the masses. I don't know how many people watching. Hundreds. Thousands.
Yeah. A million probably. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, John, did you have the same kind of impact? Hold on, I gotta reset the audio. It did the audio thing again. Let me go ahead and get rid of that real quick. No, it cuts out because it cuts out.
They don't want to see a handsome man become successful.
Okay, I think you're good right there. I think we're back. No, it cuts out. I don't know why, but I did get that other monitor, so I'm going to set that up and have it all. I got to do the new setup thing, but it did cut out. We had Zaid in the audience. What's up, Zaid? He said he likes to press the handicap button for all the fat birds. He lets that's a genius move. You don't hold the door for him. You just press the handicap button and let it open for him. You know what I mean? That's pretty good. Yeah. So, did you have a similar experience with COVID, John, or did it? I'm sure it impacted you, or in Florida, not so much. What do you think?
No, Florida was pretty. It was honestly, it was pretty tame, to be honest. We had about 3 months that were kind of shitty.
It looks like your green screen dropped out, John.
My OBS froze up. I just swapped it so you guys could still see me because
it's all good. Yeah.
OBS froze on me. Yeah, no, Florida was pretty fucking chill, to be honest. It wasn't it wasn't anything bad down here.
Yeah, we had it. We had it
we
hot.
Had like 3 months, but that was about it.
Yeah, we had it hot and heavy here, and then I'm sure James, he had it pretty bad where he's at. Was the COVID pretty bad?
The thing is, you're like with America, you've got this independent streak, haven't you? You're state by state, so
yeah,
it's like you might win the lottery. Or you might be a big fucking loser, you know what I mean? It depends where you are. With us, it's a like nationwide thing. It was like England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. It was one universal, lockdown, social distancing, vaccine mandate. I mean, people were losing their jobs if they didn't get a vaccine. They had to make a choice: get the vaccine or lose your income.
Right.
There was no like. With our stuff, there isn't like you say states, we say counties. There wasn't that. It's just it's a nationwide thing. But like John said, his guys got a streak of independence. They were going their own way. But I say, if you were in like somewhere like Massachusetts, you were fucked, I guess.
Yeah. Also, in parts of California too, it's really bad. Like where I used to live in L.A., it was horrible. But then as soon as I moved, into a different county, the county in the high desert where I'm at now, nobody did it. Nobody cared. Nobody wore a mask. Nobody even thought about it. It was like it never even happened up here. And so I was really fortunate to find my way up to this area and to escape all of that. So that was kind of crazy. Any other kind of life-changing decisions that you guys make? Nobody here won the lottery or anything like that? You're not secretly a multi-millionaire or anything like that?
I wish, man. I mean, I've just always kind of lived a wild life,
Yeah.
When I was younger, in my like early teens, my favorite band was Metallica.
Yeah.
Like all throughout high school. And they did like an end of the millennium tour. This was like before phones and Google Maps and me and my buddy were like, fuck it, let's follow the tour. And
okay.
Loaded up our credit cards. We did the first 4 stops of the tour, but it was like Miami was the first stop, then Tampa, then New Year's Eve 1999 was in the Pontiac Silverdome up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And then New Year's Day was in Cleveland the next day. So we just did this crazy ass road trip, maxed out all of our credit cards. They added more shows after that.
Yeah.
And we were just like, we don't have money to do it anymore. Fuck it. We're going back home.
Yeah, that was during Y2K as well. So that was pretty ballsy. Everybody was like freaking out at that time about the world's going to end and all that. Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Well, I wasn't scared of that. Like my mom was a computer programmer, so I always had computers around when I was a kid, and like she basically said, no, there's nothing really to worry about. Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah, you pretty much.
They were saying like planes are gonna fly out of the sky.
Oh, they were saying
gonna blow up on the electric grid, and people were kind of.
They were saying all kinds of shit like that. Yeah, you just YOLO'd that bad boy. That's a memory that you'll always have, though. That's incredible. And the fact that you have that story to be like, yeah, I followed Metallica for the first leg of their tour. That's incredible, bro. What about you?
Was a blast.
What about you, James? Did you ever follow Metallica around England or anything, or just the Birds?
Not really my thing. I think personality-wise, you can pretty tell what type of guy I am. It's like I'm very like hair trigger. You know what I mean? I'm very much in the moment. Like I find myself in these situations. it could go one way or the other, and it usually goes the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like before I hooked up with you, you become like my unpaid counsellor. I always run things by you. Like I'm like chatting to you behind the scenes, and I'm like, if you were me, what would you do in this situation? I'm like kind of like trying to be more philosophical. I'm trying to take trying to make a more broader picture look, because basically I just want to go in windmilling, you know, and take everyone down. I want to like have a row with everyone. I'm kind of always been that personality. I'm very gung-ho. I'm very like in your face. I'm kind of like, I always find myself in the situations that you see in movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all very like, it's not life or death, but it's all very ag. You know what I mean? English people find themselves, it's like I always said to you, we're good at two things. We're good at fighting and drinking. And I generally find myself in those situations. And it's like, it's always been like that thing. You think you would calm down the older you get, and you try to calm down and you try to be more measured and you try to be the adult in the room. But it's just things that trigger you, don't they? I think it's in you. It's just in your blood. Till the day you die, you're going to be like that. And you try to be like, you try to be more measured and more tempered. But it's just not really in my nature. It's like, you're like this more like cool, laid back surfer dude. And I'm like, this fucking guy, what do you think? He's a right fucking guy, isn't he? You know what I mean? This fucking guy, you know? It's like, I'm trying to convince myself through you that this guy's a fucking arsehole usually. It's like, I don't say that about John. Like, I always say good things about John. I like reading John's long, short stories. That's that.
Yeah. His essays.
If I see in the chat that John's wrote like a thesis, I'm like, I'm going to read this and calm down and be like.
I try. I wait for the cliff notes on that one.
John's really, and he types so fast, right? I'm like this retard. I'm like going, right, and this is me, right? And fucking John's like this. He's like fucking Mozart or something. He's like, right, and he's crazy at fucking fast he types. I'm like, Jesus, better check the grammar. Oh, yeah, it seems all right. Okay, I'll post this. Don't want to seem like too much of it.
Yeah. No, yeah, John can really type, bro. One other story that, one thing that I did that was kind of life-changing a little bit was, it was a spur-of-the-moment trip that I took to the Pipe Masters. And I went down there. At the time, I still lived in Hermosa Beach, and I just decided one day, Pipe Masters is the biggest surf competition for surfing, and it's on the North Shore of Oahu. And one day I just decided, like spur of the moment, I was gonna go watch Pipe Masters, and I flew out to Oahu, got a car, drove up to the North Shore, went to Pipe Masters for 2 or 3 weeks, and had a blast, man. I met all the pro surfers. I got pictures with John Florence and Kelly Slater and a whole bunch of other big-time names out there. I think Cool Rothman was out there at that time. But just had a blast meeting everybody. And so that was another time that I did something really fun, and it really kind of blew up into something positive. And so, life-changing things aren't always negative. Sometimes they're positive too, Like when James realized that he had a modeling face and he got that modeling contract and for Calvin Klein and all that. No, I'm just kidding, James.
It should be, though. It's like, you remember when CK, if your mum was dogging me, they were going, you post a load of pictures, and I'm like, what the fuck else am I going to do? You know what I mean? I'm like, I like taking pictures of myself. It's fun. I like looking in the mirror. I like bigging myself up. It's a sad old world, right? I really think it's bad when people men have been really downtrodden, haven't they? We want to lift the men up, we want to lift that image. We want to look good. We want to wear nice clothes. We want to big each other up. Like, I'm the guy, right? I'm like this fucking you might as well put a rah-rah skirt on me and give me some pom-poms. I'm always out here online bigging people up and cheering people up. I'm like cheering John up, and now I'm cheering up his girl Justina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know Justina 5 minutes ago, and now I'm like, yeah, Justina. But she seems like a really nice girl, positive. I think she'd be really good on stream. I jumped in with John on Rumble. She was doing a Rumble stream. Like, this girl's got a bit about her, you know what I mean? She's got a bit of personality. And I want to be around these people. I don't want to be around dead air, people that just stand there and go, where's this stream going?
Yeah.
It can be men or women, it can be stories, or it can just be bands. I just want to be around those people. I'll jump in any chat where there's a bit of life, there's some signs of life. Because like I told you, 99.9% of these streamers could put a glass eye to sleep. They're so fucking boring. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. I'm not going, please follow me, please like me. But you can't say I'm not entertaining. John's entertaining. You're entertaining.
Yeah. And we're all entertaining in our own way, and we're all authentic, and that's the most important.
We're not the same. It would be stupid if we the same.
Yeah, exactly. We got Zaid out here in the chat. Zaid says that he lived in Oceanside for 2 years, and he learned to surf. Well, good on you, Zaid. He also says Kelly Slater had to have been crazy. Bro, I met Kelly. He was like the nicest guy ever, man. He was super nice. And then I found out that I had dated a girl that he dated at one point. And she was obviously way younger than him, and I was just like, wow, you dated her? And so that was kind of funny too.
I always thought the surfing culture was a bit rough and tumble. It's a bit like gang culture in a way. You know what I mean?
Well,
Hawaii's quite. I was shocked to find that Hawaii's quite a dangerous place. Got gangs, got a bit of violence. It's like one of the most violent places, isn't it?
It's very violent, yeah. Surf culture is bifurcated, meaning there's two parts to it. There is the rough and tumble part, like the young scrappers, the up and comers, the people who sell drugs and stuff like that. And then there's this whole other side to it where they're wealthy and maybe their dad pays for them or whatever, pays for them to go to trips around the world, and they get good at it, and or maybe they know the sponsorship and they get sponsored from early on, and so they kind of get softly pushed to the forefront kind of thing. But yeah, it's two different types. Yeah, and Pat says Hawaii is not paradise, right? No, Hawaii is extremely competitive, man, extremely competitive, and they got a lot of old world belief patterns there, man. It's very difficult to do. They don't like. Yeah, they don't like outsiders, and they do not like white people. So I'll just put it right there. They don't like America either. They don't like America at all. And they're always railing against America and how they're not part of America. And yet, we have several military bases there that keep their economy afloat, which is hilarious, but whatever. It's a beautiful place to go. I absolutely love Hawaii.
It's like Maori culture, isn't it? New Zealand. It's like Maori culture or Abo culture in Australia. They don't like the place that they're in. You know what I mean?
Well, they love Hawaii. They just don't want anybody else there. And it's very strange too, because a lot of the Hawaii people aren't even Hawaiian. They come from Portugal, they come from Japan, they come from the Philippines or the Micronesia area or whatever. They come from all these other areas, and maybe they've been there 3 or 4 generations, but they're not Hawaiian. You know what I'm saying? So it's very strange in that respect, and they're extremely, extremely territorial. And
did you ever see that South Park episode about it?
I don't know.
They called them the Howleys, the white people who go over there and then say they're Hawaiian.
I think I might have sent a clip of it, but I should go back and watch that. But it's true, they call you Haole all the time. I was called Haole all the time. I got kicked off of beaches, bro. I got, I full on had my surfboard out walking into the ocean. I had these 20 guys come from the side and say, no, brother, you gotta go, brother. Get out of here, not your beach, brother. And so I'd be like, all right, shit, you're right, my bad, because you'll be driving your car and you'll see waves breaking. You'll be like, oh shit, let me pull over and surf real quick. And you got your board with you all the time. And it's just so much fun. But if you can get in with the right people, it's awesome. But if you don't get in with those right people, they keep you out.
Man, that sounds like fucking good, man. That sounds like a good scrap to me, you know what I mean? I'd just love to get stuck in. I'll be like, they'd be like telling me, I know probably they gang up on me and kick the shit out of me, but I'm like, I ain't fucking going anywhere, mate. It's just like, when you got that stand on principle, I've got that thing. They're gonna gang up on you and do you over, but it's like, I ain't fucking going anywhere, bruv. I ain't going nowhere, man.
I totally feel you. But here's the thing. Here's the wild thing about Hawaii that it takes people like us, mainlanders, a while to understand. You might be able to beat up 1 or 2 or maybe even 5 guys, but they'll come back for you 6 hours later and they will find you with 30 people. They will find you.
Cousins, haven't they? They're these people with 1 million cousins. They're like fucking Italians.
Yeah, not only that, but they all train UFC. They all train jiu-jitsu. They all train Muay Thai. They fight like country people, bro. They can really, really fight. And so it's better to say, okay, my bad. Let me go ahead and go and not cause any.
In the art of the cricket bat around the skull. That's what I want to know, mate.
Bro, they will murk you, my friend. But yeah, now you can fight with them. You might even and listen. Say you got the cricket bat out and you beat them. They will come back a third time with like 200 people, bro. I'm serious. They will not stop.
I'll be half dead. I'll be half dead on a stretcher. I'll be going, yeah, but I got that big fucker, didn't I?
yeah. CK, who knows a couple of things, he knows that history pretty good. But no, they're serious out there, and they will fight. They fight with the Marines. Like so, the Marines will go out in a whole group. You know, the Marines stick together, and they'll go out in a whole group of like 30 men, and they'll get in a fight with 30 other Hawaiians. And then before you know it, there will be 60 Hawaiians there. And then before you know it, there's 90 Hawaiians there.
Oh,
and so the military...
I know this is laughable, but I think The Rock, who wants to be a serious actor, is doing like a Hawaii gangster surf movie with Scorsese.
Oh, I didn't know that, really?
I think it's in development, yeah. Like The Rock and Scorsese, because he wants to be taken as a serious actor. He's just done that MMA movie, didn't he? I can't remember who
Oh,
his name was.
I heard it was terrible. Yeah, I heard that movie was terrible. Yeah.
He thought he was going to get an Oscar, and I'm like, fucking hell, they're giving The Rock... I'm telling you, I like film, but if they're giving The Rock Oscars, fucking drop me out, mate. I think Emily Blunt's a really good actress. She'll be the best thing in that.
As soon as I saw The Rock with that wig on, I couldn't take him serious. I was thinking about...
He's got full Batista, isn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And,
he did, yeah. He went full puffer on that one, or what do you call them over there? Poofers or whatever?
Puffs.
Yeah, he went full poof over there. Yeah, but yeah, that's crazy. It's like that's the kind of culture it is over there. It's very like raw. It's very masculine, and for normal West mainlanders that go over to Hawaii, you can't just do like you do in California, where you just take your board and surf anywhere. They beat the shit out of you, bro. Not only that, but they'll slash your tires, they'll punch all your windows in, and they'll send you on your way, even if it is a rental.
It's the same in Australia, and it's the same in New Zealand. Like in Australia with the Bruvs boys, when you went to their area, it was like, yeah, this is our area. Fuck off, you're an outsider, kind of thing. Yeah, it's like that up here with like Southerners and Northerners. You know what I mean? As soon as you go into their territory, they get their nose put out of joint. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're in the wrong place. We have like in our country, like in South London, they will stab you, right? if you find out that you're in a different postcode to them.
Really?
It's like the postcode lottery. If you've got a different, like, they call it ends. The black kids call it the ends, their ends. Yeah. So if you go into their ends and you're not from their ends, you've got a different postcode, which is your, like, zip code. Zip code. They will fucking carve you up, mate. I tell you. They will leave you dying in the gutter, mate. This is how fucking bad it is in London.
That is crazy.
The president was going like that. He was going to me, Jesus, the fucking hotels over there with all the immigrants and the costs. And I was like, mate, you don't even realise London's different gravy now. It ain't London. It ain't the fucking Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke that you see in the fucking movies, mate. These people will cut your throat for a bag of dolly mixtures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Roquefort Macabre, he says like how they have a different accent 5 blocks down the street. So how like the accents change so much over just a couple of blocks. Is that true? Is that how it works over there in England? You could tell where you're from based on your accent?
Yeah, well, you can tell like I'm from fucking South London because like the words that I use, like milk, drip, stuff like all I'm stuff. I'm always like explaining because I have to get like, this word means this. I'm always explaining to John. I'm like, the other day he was in Instagram. He goes, what word does this mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
He's a translator.
And I was having to explain to him. It's like, but like you go up north and it's fucking different. Like Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, they all got their own way of talking. The funniest thing is when you see a fucking Asian who talks like half English, half Pakistani. It's the maddest shit. Or you see like half English, half Bangladeshi, half English, half Indian. You know, like what should you watch? The fucking what's that thing? Fuck, with Noel Clarke. You should watch like Adulthood and Kidulthood and stuff like that if you want to realise how young black people speak. Like, they use words like sket and ends, don't they? It's really funny when white people use it. The blacks call them wiggers. Like white fucking. I'm not gonna say it, I'm not gonna do CK here, but like fucking, it's like that's what they do. It's like you can be from Croydon and you'll talk different to someone from Woolwich, and it's both in South London. but you're like, and they go, this is my ends on Millwall, this is my ends on Palace. It's like, it's so territorial, like you were saying about Hawaii. But
Yeah.
it's like different regions. We all hate each other in England. Seriously, we all hate each other. I said the other day. Well, I said it to Hoojin, didn't I? In the chat, I said, I ain't going fucking north of Watford, mate. It's like bandit country. I ain't going up north.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm down south, and I'm saying down south.
Now that's funny because we got Rookie from Maccabi. He said he had a Japanese girl that lived in Sweden and an Ukrainian dude who lived in New Zealand. When I was in Hawaii, I met this Japanese girl, and she was beautiful, but she had a full-on Southern accent, and I couldn't put the two and two together. She grew up like in Texas or something. John, have you ever experienced anything like that when the accent doesn't match with the type of nationality of that person, or maybe they're like somebody who speaks fluent Spanish, but maybe they're a redhead or a ginger or something like that. I don't know.
Well, for me, it's more okay. So you know how he was just saying that people in England all hate each other just based on the region.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the American left, they like to group basically everybody against white people. It's like brown people, but like, man, if you take any two Latin countries, they all hate each other. Like worse than anybody else. Like you call a Cuban a Puerto Rican or vice versa.
Yeah.
You're asking for it. You're gonna have to defend your honor.
Yeah.
Because he's going to defend his. And it's funny because I grew up around Puerto Ricans because there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in South Florida. When I lived in California, my cousin had a Puerto Rican friend. And when I heard him talk Spanish, he didn't talk like a Puerto Rican. He talked like a Mexican.
Oh.
And I was like clowning on him. I was like, I'm closer to a Puerto Rican than you are.
That's crazy. That's the real deal, though. When I was in Asia, I was asked the Asian people, like I was in China or Japan or Taiwan or whatever, I would ask them, like, who are they racist against? And they're basically only racist against other Asian people. And so I definitely felt that. Like, I would ask them, what are some of your racist words and what do they mean and all that kind of stuff. And they would tell me they only had really racist words for other Asian people. And everybody besides that was more like a guest in their country. When I was in Taiwan, there was a ton of Nigerians there, and they were studying petroleum engineering. So I found that very, very interesting. And they all stuck together. And of course, there's nobody more racist against that Africa and Africans than Asian people, and so they were always like, they weren't really happy about that. But that was really interesting. I thought that was an interesting observation. Somebody said the other day that if people think that America is racist, all they need to do is go to another country, and they'll realize how racist racism really is, and it's in these other countries. Yeah.
And you go to Spain, right? Go to Spain and see what they think of black people. You go to Spain. They hate black people with a passion. You go to the football matches, right? And the blacks that even play for their clubs, they will be giving them the N-word shit all fucking game, right?
Yeah.
They don't even like them, mate. Go to Spain if you want to see how they treat black people. Hilarious. Yeah. Fucking hilarious.
Now, John, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it's kind of funny because, all right, like, Cubans with black, there's a lot of black Cubans. There's also a lot of, like, pale, pasty white Cubans like me. We come in all colors, and we'll joke around and like make fun of each other for our skin color, right? It's like a thing. All Hispanic cultures do it. But a white Cuban would rather hang with a black Cuban than with the whitest Puerto Rican or Mexican. Like, to a Cuban and a Puerto Rican, all of Central and South America are all like spear chuckers. We call them tira flecha, which means spear chucker. And it's just like that. Like, no two Hispanic cultures like each other. It's hilarious. Yeah, they're more racist against each other. Like Cuban and Puerto Rican and Dominican, we all have a lot of similar, all the Caribbean Hispanics, very similar foods, similar cultures to an extent, right? About as close as you can get. But man, they hate each other so much that it's insane. Now, it's kind of changed now with a lot of like second and third generation Americans, to where there's not like that hatred. But man, you take someone who just came from Cuba and just came from Puerto Rico, they're gonna fight. They're definitely gonna fight.
It's funny, right? Talk about racism, hilarious racism, right? Do you know Hergé, who does Tintin? You ever heard of Tintin?
Yeah,
Google
No.
Tintin. Google Tintin in the Congo, right, and look at that book. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Hergé's drawings like a black.
Oh yeah. No,
Tintin in the Congo, right? Because you're an artist.
Yeah, Tintin's a cart. Well, for people,
it's fucking hilarious.
Well, for people who don't know, Tintin was a cartoon that was made like maybe in the 40s or the 50s, maybe, and they remade it into a movie maybe in the 2000s. But it's about a boy and his dog. I think his dog Tintin.
Yeah, Snowy. He's like a journalist, and he's got his dog Snowy, and he's like fucking. And it's like fucking you Google Tintin in the Congo, mate, and see what he thinks black people look like. It is funny as fuck.
Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of those old Looney Tunes cartoons, or even like the Disney cartoons, where they had those stereotypes of the black people and stuff like that. That they try to like get rid of now. They try to black them out or completely ban them or whatever. But yeah, that's crazy. That is some crazy shit. Let me go ahead and check down here in the chat, see how everybody's doing. Seashell, I always say your name wrong. Seashell Snowcow, that's Pat. She says, John speaks facts, and I agree with that. Roquefort Macabre says he loves old comics. Old comics are the best, man. The old Golden Age illustrators are incredible.
Yeah,
We've got
Harry's always reposting old tunes. I love it when he does that. It's cool.
Yeah,
you know
he's awesome. Yeah.
I like casual racism. I'm a big fan of casual racism.
Well, I think it's funny just to be real. You know, don't ignore this stuff. You know, it's
exactly.
awesome.
It's like, if you notice, they try to want us all. They want to, instead of letting us just find our group and find our people, they all want us to be one homogenous group, don't they? They're like trying to push us together. They're trying to push Europe together. They're trying to push us in a direction. Just let us find our people and have fun. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, we got Colonel Zaid. He says, we are all fractals of the universe. Completely agree with you on that one. Roquefort Macabre, he's laughing at you, John, for that spear checker comment in Spanish. Can you say it one more time? How do you say that?
Tira flecha.
De la Flecha, yeah, fantastic. So that's hilarious. What do you say? You're a bunch of rich olive tone. Anyway, yeah, so we got a lot of good jokes going on there, and I agree with you. We have Air Joe. He says that Fantasia had a cringe scene with pickaninnies that was cut out. That's true. I remember that. And pickaninnies are a reference to, I think, little black girls. I think that's what it is, where they kind of look like they had their hair in the flower kind of pattern or whatever. Roki first said he lost a lot of his old Cordito comics. John, are you familiar with that? Is that a Spanish Condorito? Have you heard of that? No, okay.
I've never heard of it.
I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to Google that after this. But we're coming right up on the end of the second hour. We're at the very top end of that. So we're going to get some final thoughts from these characters, these two guys. And tomorrow we're going to have we're going to discuss some English politics. We're going to have Hujan on, and we're going to see what he's up to. And so we're going to get a chit chat with that. Of course, John, you're more than invited to be on that one with us. And then at the same time, and then on Friday, I'm trying to get another one locked together. And if that scheduling holds up, then I'll let you guys know. On Saturday, we're going to do the live again. And I know, John, it might conflict with your schedule, so we might have to figure a solution out to that. Okay. And then on Sunday, we're going to have another dumped cooking. I'm really enjoying doing that. We're also going to do a Bruvs Unite. We're going to do a Christmas show. I'm really excited to do that. We might do it either, I forget what the Wednesday before Christmas, or actually on Christmas Eve. If we can pull that off, maybe we'll do it a little earlier. Maybe on Christmas Eve that morning, we'll get you with a little bit of schnapps, a little bit of donut or quiche or whatever, and you come join the Bruvs, and we'll have a complete Christmas themed show. Might even have to get out the Christmas hats and all that kind of stuff, get out the fake snow and have a good time doing that. But John, life-changing moments. Thanks for sharing them with us. Do you have any final comments as we leave? And where can people find you?
Final comments, man. It's been a blast getting to know all you guys. James.
I forget names too. Yeah.
It's horrible because his name is actually his name, like full on first name, last name, middle name, everywhere. and I just froze for a second.
It's because
But,
I'm arrogant, you know what I mean? Just say I'm an arrogant son of a bitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I want all the credit. I want all the credit to be on my name, so I just fucking put it out there, you know
he
what I mean?
keeps saying he's an Englishman, a proud Englishman, but he acts like a fucking Italian, which is very similar to. I have some Italian friends, and we're always talking about how similar our cultures are, and the braggadocious confidence that you have. It's not English; it's fucking Italian, and I love it.
Yeah. I like that too.
But
Like, there's going to be plenty of people in this life that are going to try and drag you down. That's
Yeah.
the way life is. Like,
Yeah,
there's
of
going to be
course.
plenty of people that they're going to try and put the fucking hand on you, and they're going to try and change you. And last week it was like I didn't like it. You know what I mean? I was like, I wanted to take a step away. I was vexed by it. I don't like people putting shit on me. You know what I mean? Because they know they think they know me, and they don't really know the real me. They know the online me. And like, I don't like being called certain names. I don't like people putting shit on me. I don't like people thinking they could get one over on me. You know what I mean? I've told you from the jump, I flirt with all fucking women. You know what I mean? It will be, I don't know how to fucking think I'm going to get the arms to fucking pull a bird. I live in England. I live in England. I love England. This is where I am. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to stop being me because of other people's like way they feel or their insecurities. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm here with Ray. I'm here with John. I'm here with everyone that jumps on this stream. I'm here to promote them and to see them reach their goals. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for. I'm here for a good time. It might be a short time. It might be a long time. I don't know. You know, who knows in this life? Now, I could drop down dead tomorrow. So I'm going to come in here with a fucking cricket bat swinging and having a good laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, we got to get you that green card, bro. Get you over to Miami. Get you some of them good, big boobies. You know what I'm saying?
Some tropical Miami birds.
Do they not realise I just want them for their body? I don't want a fucking green card. I just want them sexually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's why you got to get to Miami. But what I was gonna say about that was, I just want to throw a shout out to Ric Flair's hair, who if he didn't have that cool last name, I wouldn't have ever met you guys.
Yeah, no, Ric Flair's
him.
hair is the man. I love Ric Flair's hair. He's been an incredible support. He's an incredible person, and I've talked to him a couple of times. In fact, he sent me. You can't see it right here, but he sent me this fantastic castle in France, and he's just a bang up, tremendous guy. And so, thank you to Ric Flair's hair. Of course,
Presby's not a good guy. You know,
Presby, bro. Yeah.
Jerry, you know what I mean? It's like fucking too many to mention, isn't there? They're just like they've been here from the jump, haven't they?
Yeah.
If we ever get big, I hope we get big because like I like the idea of being big. I'm literally big. But like I would like to get metaphorically big. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we ever got big. You know, I won't forget the people that were there at the jump because I know that. Like Brandon was there. You know, there's been a lot of people. We're a strange bunch of people, but in online terms, we got more charisma in our little finger than the entire internet's got in their whole body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these people, they need to step aside, or we're going to have to force them aside. I don't know. Get rid of
No, it's true. And and everybody in the chat right now, you guys are an OG. We got Carrie, we got Pat, we got Roquefort Macabre. Yeah, Pat's been huge. I could go down the list. We got Darren. He was from day one. We got
Spirit, who's not here today, but is always here.
Yeah, Mr. Geeky's always here.
These smart artists that make me look like a retard. Shout them out, fucking hell.
Well, I have to say it. We start saying one name, and then they go, "Oh, you didn't say my name."
I
go,
Spirit. Spirit is he's a very deep thinker. Spirit, I like him. He's a good guy.
I like Spirit.
He works very well with Professor Grass. I like their chemistry.
Yeah.
They got good chemistry.
100%. And we got Zayd out there. We got, there's a whole bunch of really cool people that we've met. We've only met cool people, and it's been a very enjoyable, mission so far. And it's going to stay enjoyable because we're going to keep having fun. This is what we're going to do. And so I just want to say, hey, thank you to the chat, and thank you to James, and thank you to John for jumping on here. And let's kick some ass this year. Knuckles up, everybody. Get the hell out of here. Have some fun and kick some ass. Until next time, everybody, we're out of here. Go kick some ass. Bye.